Hello, my name is Adeline Dewig, and for my artist, I decided to research Leonid Afremov. Leonid Afremov is an impressionistic Russian Israeli who worked with a palette knife, linen canvas, and oils. He sold most of his work online, with very little displayed at art galleries or exhibitions due to the fact that he was often discriminated in his early life and he preferred to work at home and sell online. Most of his artwork also revolved around landscapes, such as parks, such as these, and he also really liked benches and drawing couples as well, and trees and colors. And he also did Paris cityscapes and also Italy cityscapes and London cityscapes. And then he also liked jazz musicians and portraits. He was inspired by a jazz artist in 1999, and that's why he really likes doing jazz music paintings. And he also likes flowers and plants. And then he also liked to draw animals in this similar style, and more specifically cats. And he also likes seascapes and sunsets as well. In his early life, Leonid Afremov was born in July 12th, 1955 in Belarus and died very recently on August 19th, 2019 in Mexico. His family, despite the risk of being imprisoned, practiced the Jewish religion, which in turn caused the Russians to discriminate against him, and which also made it harder for him to sell his work and to actually own a gallery. In his early years, his artwork was similar to Chagall and Modigliani, but over the years, Leonid created his own unique style. No other artist come even close to it, although he did teach a few to be able to somewhat copy his artworks. And later on in his life, his artworks also had more of a textured style to it, like textured fingerprints. If you look at this, all of the artworks all kind of like overlap each other and they don't really mix, and there's so much texture involved, which is really interesting. And they also use so much vivid colors to represent peace and tranquility and to just relieve your stress. However, life kind of took a rough turn for Leonid in 1986 when the Chernobyl disaster happened, which was a nuclear accident. He lived close enough for the radiation to affect health and crops. So, because of this, and because he was often being discriminated, he decided to move him and his family to Israel in 1990. It was here in a gallery in Israel that Leonid was first introduced to the palette knife, which he ended up using later on, but he wasn't really able to use it while in Israel due to the fact that he was also being discriminated in Israel. It was during the Cold War and he was Russian, so there wasn't really much, there was so much tension. And so his artworks were valued far less than what they should have been. So he had to give in to the demand of the people who would actually buy his artworks. And so he had to do stuff that he didn't personally enjoy. However, in 1994, his son Dmitry went door to door in their newly moved Russian neighborhood selling his father's artworks, which proved successful. His artwork was only popular amongst the Russian Israeli community, though. Around this time, he started using the palette knife and orals much more and developing his own identity. In 2001, however, Afremov's gallery was completely destroyed. So Afremov decided to move to America, where he was met by a lot of positive vibes and started to develop his style even more so. And then later to Mexico, where he lived throughout the rest of his life. His son Boris then introduced Leonid to eBay while in Florida and later even set up his own website in Mexico. However, Leonid could not really run the website, so his family kind of took that for him since he was suffering a lot of physical issues at that time and lots of diseases and health. Tumeni's artwork was considered peaceful and used even in therapies and hospitals as stress relievers, which is also partly why I love his style. It gives me like a feeling of calm and it's such a stress reliever for me. And much of his artwork is also based off of music, like the emotions you get from when you listen to music. And he always listens to music when he does artwork, which is also really inspiring to everybody around us. His artwork focuses a lot on emotions too, rather than hidden messages, because he wants everybody to feel included and to feel peaceful and not have any stress on their plates because he loves everybody. Every painting is also a part of his soul, and every painting has a mood and a feeling and is extremely personal for him. Because of all of this, he has always been a really big inspiration for me. 2 years ago, I even drew my own artwork similar to his. As you can see, it has like the same kind of style with the different like splotches and all of the different colors and brightness involved with it, except I did it in colored pencil instead of paint like he did. While looking at these pieces, the feeling of peace is overwhelmingly present. His artworks make me feel so calm, and I definitely say it's a stress reliever for me. And it also just kind of has like a really fun vibe to it because of all of the different colors. And in later years, I also really want to try out his artwork again. It gives me like the best feeling ever, and I kind of want to also show that in my artwork as well. I don't know if I would use like pencil or paint, but it doesn't really matter. I love his artworks, and I hope you guys love his artworks. Thank you guys so much for this. Thank you.